Hello guys, this is Germ, and I have a little bit of a commentary today on Gunmaster for Battlefield 3. I'm playing Gunmaster on Zyba Tower. Just so you guys know my history with Gunmaster style gameplay, I first got into it in Counter-Strike Source, and then I played a lot in Call of Duty Black Ops. You can actually go right here, providing I remember to put the annotation up, and go see me playing some gun game in Black Ops, just to know that I do speak from a little bit of experience before Battlefield with the Gun Master game type, whatever it's called, gun game in Counter-Strike. I'm probably just going to call it gun game because that's what Counter-Strike calls it. But anyway, I really like this type of game where you switch weapons on each kill. I like doing kit switching, all kinds of things like that. But I feel like the Battlefield 3 version has a lot of serious issues with it. You're going to see me die a lot in this video. I'm very aggressive, and actually I end up getting third place. I doubt I'm going to talk all the way to the end of the footage, so I'll just go ahead and spoil that now. I don't win. I don't want you to be watching this thinking I'm going to win. But the MP443 is a really good gun to start out with. That's a very nice balanced pistol. I like it. I'm a little bit confused by the inclusion of the Beretta 93R as the second gun, especially in close quarters maps. It's very good, just kind of firing from the hip, spraying, and what have you. It seems like a little bit of an interesting choice. And then this really doesn't make sense, going straight from the 93R to the 44 Magnum. This is where I see a lot of people get hung up, and they get stuck for a couple levels while, whoever breaks out of the 44 Magnum, I feel, has the best advantage. For the reasons that while it has devastating power, it has a very slow fire speed, and it's not really good to fire from the hip, because firing from the hip, I feel a lot of the time, is more about your stopping power over a very short distance combined with the number of bullets you can put down range. And the 44 Magnum has awesome stopping power but can't put that many bullets down. So I think it's really bad for close quarters when a lot of people are firing from the hip, moving as quick as they can. So I feel like a lot of people get stopped here on the third level, and as soon as you break out from the third level, then you're going to be getting, I believe it's the PP19, we'll see when we get there. But let me talk about the rest of Gunmaster for a moment. In a game, for example, like Call of Duty Black Ops or Counter-Strike, there's a lot more variation in the weapons list for the gun game type, or Gunmaster game type. And Battlefield certainly has the variety in guns necessary to have a really interesting Gunmaster, but I feel like they just aren't taking advantage of it to the fullest. Most of the guns are just assault rifles, a couple little submachine guns, but they're not really that different. By comparison, Black Ops had you use shooting a tactical knife, there was a crossbow, a bolt-action sniper rifle, semi-automatic sniper rifle, a rocket launcher, things that Battlefield has a lot of these, and they could use them, but I don't feel like they really are. Yeah, this is, what is this, the PP19? And this is a really devastating gun, especially with the suppressor. But I don't see why this is going right after the 44 Magnum. It makes absolutely no sense, in my opinion. I think the 44 Magnum, it'd be great if that was maybe the first gun, or just leave it out entirely. It doesn't need to be in there after the MP443. I mean, after you go to the 93R, once you go fully automatic, or at least burst fire, I don't feel like you should be taking a big step backwards. And I feel like for such a close quarters game type, I feel like the 44 Magnum really is a step backwards from the 93R, despite the fact that in normal Battlefield gameplay, I would most likely choose the 44 Magnum over the 93R for an all-purpose carry weapon. So anyway, after you go through the PP19, then you get the P90. P90 is similar to the PP19, maybe slightly slower rate of fire. Really great at firing from the hip, spray and pray, all that stuff, which makes it a great close quarters weapon. But again, this seems like a really devastating weapon to have so early, especially since a lot of the guns coming after this, I feel, aren't nearly as good. So a lot of people will get hung up on the 44 Magnum. By the time you get out of the 44 Magnum, the people who get into the guns right after that are flying through now. Alright, now this is interesting. Going straight from the going straight from the P90 to a pump action shotgun. Now, if the pump action shotgun was earlier in the list of guns, that would make a lot more sense, but I don't understand why it's coming after several fully automatic rifles or submachine guns. That doesn't really make any sense to me, unless they're deliberately trying to make a lot of people slow down at this level. If you get one or two really good, well-placed shots with the shotgun at close quarters, yes, they are debatably better than the guns before it, but I don't see a lot of people doing that. Most of the time with a shotgun, I get a whole lot of assists, and if I get really close to somebody, I can get that one hit kill that I'll need before they obliterate me with their submachine gun. Which brings up my next point about Gunmaster, something I wish they would do. I like how you have to end with a knife, the knife being probably, you know, one of the hardest things to get a kill with when everyone else has these guns. And that's how it should be. You should have to level up in that way, that I think, so that it gets harder and harder, so it's not the guys who are really good getting ahead of everybody just keep getting better and better and now have a gear advantage and the skill advantage. I think it's much more skillful to make them work with worse and worse gear. I actually think it would be awesome if everyone started out with like an M4 or the P90 or something like that, and you work towards progressively harder weapons, so that you're working towards, say, like an L96 with an ACOG on it. You've got to go through a couple of the light machine guns, which are really unwieldy. You have to use an RPG, but you only hit like 3 rounds or something like that, that forces you to use a lot of skill rather than just rewarding the player with each successive kill by giving them something better and better and better than everyone else underneath them. That was, I don't know why he didn't shoot me. He's just sitting next to the toilet. I guess when you don't have to go, you don't have to go. But anyway, I would like to see them make the better players, as you progress farther and farther up, give them a little bit more of a challenge, so that when someone breaks away from the pack, from the 44 Magnum, when someone gets their 2 44 Magnum kills, it's not just such a race to the end, and actually it gets harder and harder as it goes along. I would like to see more people bunching up in the higher end weapons, and I do not see that in Gunmaster. I see people, a couple people, get up into the top 50%, but most everyone's in the bottom 50% of weapons the entire match, from what I've seen. Your experience may vary, but that's just what I've noticed. So anyway, guys, that's about all I have to say for this commentary. Like I said, I'm not going to get all the way through it, but I really do like Gunmaster. I just feel like it's got some balance issues that need to be adjusted before it's really everything it could be. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have an opinion that is a lot different than mine, I would love to hear it. I realize this is just my opinion and how I feel about it, and you might feel a lot different. Alright, guys, on that death, whoa, he's like skating along the ground. Anyway,